from the American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas, TV 51 presents the NBA playoffs. Tonight, it's Game 2 of the first round matchup, the Houston Rockets against the Dallas Mavericks. Dampier will jump center against Yao.
All the energy that's in the arena right now, that goes right to the players, and you're going to see a lot of players getting out of breath in a hurry here in the first part of this game.
Well, you said don't change anything. Dampier won the tip for Game 1. Jason Terry will bring it up. He had a pretty good game. He scored 17 in Game 1 and had 6 assists. They're going right to Nowitzki. Double team on Nowitzki, and they threw it away. And they're going to say McGrady touched the ball. Well, that was almost a turnover, man.
Remember, Dirk had 6 turnovers in Game 1. If you're a player and you had a bad game, you want to come out and you want to get off to a great start. That's why one of my keys was keep Dirk frustrated, make it hard on him.
And there's a steal by Surah on the first possession by Dallas. Bobby goes behind the back, takes it all the way down, back to Bowen. Bowen never looks for his shot unless they force him to. Right down to Yao Ming. They're not double teaming Yao. Fall away over Dampier for 2. So Yao Ming strikes early.
Yao Ming taking advantage of the first Rocket steal in tonight's game. Remember, the Rockets had 10. Well, they had 10 in Game 1. They have 2 so far now.
Well, Terry tried to force it up. Yao Ming blocked it. I don't know whether that was a block. They'll give him a block or not, but he deflected the ball. No block. There's McGrady going baseline. And a foul is called, and Tracy McGrady will shoot 2. The officials for tonight's Game 2 of the NBA playoffs, Danny Crawford, Greg Willard, and Mark Wunderlich. Wunderlich, Willard, and Crawford. And Joey Crawford got a lot of heat from Dallas for some reason for calling. They said he swallowed his whistle. Well, somebody was blowing that whistle.
Man.
They got to the free throw line 42 times in Game 1.
Seemed like he was blowing it plenty. Good whistle on this play, though. Tracy McGrady, they did not double team him right away like I expected. He took the ball right to the rim and drew the contact, got the foul.
Well, the Rockets off to a 4-0 start. First minute of play. Nowitzki out at the top. He'll set the pick and fade away. Rockets, Ron Bowen staying right with him. Finley for 2. There is the guy I worry about, Matt, because in Game 1, Michael Finley was only 2 for 8. He had only 5 points, and he has hurt Houston down through the year.
Well, he's only had 2 playoff games in his career where he hasn't scored double figures. Game 1 was one of them. You're going to see that guy try to get off tonight.
Over to McGrady. Finley trying to stay with him here early. Bowen is wide open and misses. Josh Howard with the rebound. Now going for the steal, and it's a jump ball. Well, they're going to call a foul on Yao Ming. First foul, of course.
Well, you don't see too many 7'6" guys diving on the floor like Yao. One thing you can say about Yao, he hustles. Unfortunately, he got a loose ball foul there.
Well, the problem with Yao, he played only 20 minutes in Game 1 because he was in foul trouble. Nowitzki, the shooter, over Ryan Bowen and miss. Bowen is just a pest. I don't think Nowitzki will have any problem getting a shot over him, but there's McGrady with a finger roll. Oh, what a shot. He went around Nowitzki.
Wow, what a shot from McGrady. Palming the basketball.
He's unbelievable.
That guy's incredible. You watch him night after night after night. He amazes you all the time.
Finley over to Dampier. Underneath. Slams it home. Yao Ming was backing off of Dampier. Did not want to pick up his second in the first 3 minutes. McGrady will handle the ball.
That time Dallas threw a little trap. McGrady trying to get the ball out of his hands. You see 2 guys around him all the time.
Down to Yao Ming for 2 and maybe 3. He's fouled on the play. They double-teamed McGrady with Dampier, and he went right to Yao Ming.
That is a smart play for Yao to go to the basket. And great pass from Tracy McGrady to find him. That is where Yao can really get himself going in this series. If they're going to double-team Tracy like that, with that far on the court, there's going to be a lot of open space for Yao to operate inside.
Wow, the adjustments Dallas has made, it looks like Van Gundy was at their practice because he's had an answer for everything that Dallas has tried to do.
That is so difficult to do. You never know. mean, there's so many variables in a basketball game. There's no way you can predict how a team is going to make adjustments. It looks like Van Gundy sort of anticipated that Tracy was going to be double teamed out on the court, and Yao already with 4 points. 5. Make that free throw.
That was a three-pointer the old-fashioned way, that free throw. Terry takes it inside, loses it. Keith Van Horn already in the game, drives it up and in.
Well, that's another guy for Dallas who's been playing great as of late, but only had 4 points in game 1. There's a lot of guys on this Dallas team that need to play better.
David Wesley puts up a three too hard. Didn't take Van Horn long to get in the game. Finley pulls up for three. Rushed that shot possibly a little bit.
Well, that's a quick shot. That shot is only a good shot if it goes in.
Wesley to McGrady, could not handle the pass.
Yep, Coach Van Gundy saying good idea, just not able to execute.
Well, immediately, you saw in that double team when Dampier came out, he doesn't want to go with Dampier anymore. He wants a smaller lineup, doesn't he?
Dampier had a nice dunk inside, but they took him out to bring in Van Horn, wanting a little more speed on the defensive end.
Jason Terry hits a three. Only 2 players under 6 feet tall were able to shoot 50% for twos, 40% for threes, and 80% for ones, and that was Terry was one of. He was a crack shooter. McGrady on the outside. We played 4 minutes into the first quarter. Back outside to Sura, and a blocking foul on Josh Howard.
Well, the fans don't like it, but that's a good call. Howard was not set when Tracy was trying to drive into the lane. But this is going to be an interesting time. Let's watch Tracy McGrady here. Howard is definitely moving, jumps in front of him. But let's watch and see if Yao can take advantage of the smaller player guarding him. In game 1, Yao did not take advantage of him having a smaller defender on him. Tonight, Van Horn is on him right now.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Brady outside. Nowitzki helps out, but he goes away. And a miss. Yao Ming with the rebound. And Jason Terry comes away with a loose ball. Terry in the open court. And a steal by Ryan Bowen. Gives it up to Bobby Sura. Sura with a left hand draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. Ryan Bowen with another steal.
Another hustle play for Ryan Bowen. That guy is all over the court. Let's watch him here with a just right place at the right time. Makes a good pass to Bobby Sura. Bobby Sura uses his body to draw the contact. You're always a little scared when you see Bobby go crashing to the floor, though. He's got that bad back. How about Ryan Bowen? He's sucking air right there. Take advantage of this time here, Ryan, to catch your breath.
Well, he's all hyped up, isn't he, Matt? Plus, he's playing a lot of minutes in the playoffs. He didn't play much in the regular season.
Well, he played 31 minutes in that first game. That was his career playoff high. Matter of fact, so was his 4 points and his 3 rebounds.
That's right.
He hadn't played 31 minutes in his entire playoff career up to that point. So, really getting an opportunity to play and really shined in game 1.
Rockets were 18 of 20 from the free throw line in game 1 for 90%. They've hit all 5 of their free throw attempts here tonight to lead by 2. And there's a turnover as Finley, that pass was a little too hard by Jason Terry.
4th turnover on the Mavericks. Rockets defense seems to be affecting their offense quite a bit here in the first period.
Sura keeps that dribble alive. You can't stop that dribble out front. That's the key there. McGrady right back to Yao Ming. Yao turns inside, and a foul is whistled. I don't think you're right on the money here. Van Horn can't guard him.
Yeah, Van Horn cannot guard Yao one-on-one, and Yao has got to be able to take advantage of that. In game 1, Avery Johnson went to the small lineup, and Yao was not able to take advantage. And now watch this here. On the pick and roll, he's got 2 guys on him, but he gets way too much penetration. He's way too close to the basket before that double team comes.
Now, what have we talked about all season long? If you're going to double Yao, then that's going to give some more shots to Tracy. If you're going to make Tracy give up the ball, then Yao's going to get you.
It's all related, and that's a bad foul there. Bobby Sura.
That's a 2-shot foul.
Now this is another key that I brought up. Keep Dallas off the free throw line. In game 1, the Rockets had several fouls 80 feet from the basket. That foul right there before the ball is inbounded, 90 feet from their basket is not a good foul. That's just giving them 3 points.
Even though it's the second team foul on Houston, if you foul a man, the ball has not been brought in, as you indicated, Matt. You get 2 free throws. 5 team fouls already for the Mavericks. We have 7:07 left to play in the first quarter. And the Rockets now with a chance to get to the free throw line a bunch here in the first quarter.
You always have an assistant coach on the bench that kind of watches the team fouls, and as soon as you go across that
steal and basket by Keith Van Horn. Well, he can guard you out in the open court in the full court press. And a foul that time, and Van Horn just picked up his 3rd foul of the game, and we're not halfway through the first quarter yet.
Well, let's watch this inbounds play. When you throw it to Yao, you got to throw it up in the air. That ball was where Van Horn could get to it.
Yeah.
Yao has got a huge height advantage over Van Horn. You've got to throw it up in the air to Yao.
Well, now we're going to see the 3rd different center used already by Dallas, and we're only halfway through the first quarter as Sean Bradley checks in.
Well, Sean Bradley is not nearly as mobile as Van Horn. Let's see if Dallas's defensive strategy will change, if they won't double team as much and maybe play more straight up now that Sean Bradley's in the game.
Bradley played 3 minutes in game 1. He was very ineffective. Had 2 fouls in 3 minutes.
I wonder if there's something wrong with Dampier. Why wouldn't you come back with Dampier?
Well, it looked like he wasn't very quick at doing the things defensively that Avery wanted to do. I don't know. Maybe he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, if Sean Bradley's not going to be any quicker than Dampier.
He had foot problems. He missed 24 games this season with a stress fracture of his right foot. Josh Howard taking it inside. Short. Looked like Yao Ming may have messed with his shot a little bit. Right down to Yao. Bradley right behind him. Takes it inside with the left hand. There's no way Bradley's going to guard Yao Ming. Welcome to the NBA playoffs, Mr. Yao. 11 points. And that has forced Avery Johnson to call a timeout. So Dallas comes out with some new wrinkles, but Jeff Van Gundy's already been to the cleaners, and he's taking Dallas there right now. 6:24 left in the first. Rockets up by 4, 6:24 left to play in the first quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders. Highest points per game in the playoffs since the 2000-2001 season, Tracy McGrady, 32 points. Dirk Nowitzki, 25. So those two have been putting up some points in the last 5 seasons. But I think it's interesting to note that the Dallas Mavericks came up with only 24 field goals in game 1. That's the fewest ever in Dallas playoff history. And so the Rockets have done a pretty good job of shutting them down.
I think the Rockets team defensive concept had a lot to do with that. I think Dallas was a little bit flat coming out, and I think they lost some confidence because of the Rockets' intensity. I don't think we're going to see 24 field goals tonight from Dallas. I think Dallas is going to have a lot better game.
Mavericks have 4 turnovers. The Rockets have converted those into 8 points.
That's just good defense right there. A lot of hustle from your boy Ryan Bowen, and there's Bobby Sura. He's always hustling. So Rockets are very active, and that was one of the things I said in the open. You got to play with intensity. You got to be active, but you don't want to foul. And it's great to see the Rockets are still on their game on the defensive end.
And Matt, you talk about Bob Sura and Tracy McGrady as instant offense. Ryan Bowen's instant defense.
Yeah, and it's great to see. It's great to see a guy like Ryan Bowen who really has worked hard to become a player in this league and to really be able to affect the playoff series like he has so far. It's just great to watch.
Josh Howard, and he puts the ball out in front, and Tracy McGrady slaps it away. Speaking of turnovers, that's number 5 for Dallas. Bobby Sura. They got Evan Harris in the game now, right on top of Sura, trying to get it down, and Harris gets a steal. He was ineffective in the few minutes he played in game 1, but he got his feet wet. He's a rookie. Howard takes it in. Yao Ming with a block. Sean Bradley puts it up and in.
I really thought we'd see Marquise Daniels instead of Devin Harris here in game 2. Devin Harris being the rookie, like you mentioned, really looked like he was out of his league there in the first game.
Looks like the plan put a lot of heat on Sura. McGrady, great pass to Yao Ming. And the great wall of Yao. 13 points. McGrady having a good time as he has a couple of assists.
He enjoys a great pass more than he enjoys a great shot. And it's great to have a team leader and a high scorer like Tracy McGrady have that kind of attitude.
Nowitzki for 2 and +1. The foul on Boyd. Can you believe it? That's the first basket of the game for Dirk Nowitzki. We've played 7 minutes.
Well, the defenders got a trail around that pick. I don't know where the contact was. Looked like there was plenty of separation between Ryan Bowen and Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki has gotten to the free throw line a lot of times this year. 5th in the NBA in free throw attempts. And he had 13 free throws in game 1. He's a good free throw shooter. If you're going to be a good scorer, that's an easy way to pump up your average.
When he had 53 against Houston, Matt, he went to the line 22 times in that game.
Last year, he was a jump shooter. And this year, he came back and he really concentrated on being aggressive, taking the ball to the basket, creating contact, and he's gotten a lot better.
McGrady! T-Mac to the rack with a tomahawk slam.
Oh, my God! Listen to the Dallas fans. The Dallas fans can't believe it.
His elbow was over the rim.
Watch how high Tracy McGrady gets over 7'6" Sean Bradley. Oh, that is nasty.
Tracy with a facey. Wow.
You got to be kidding me. That might be the best dunk I've seen all year.
And he completes a 3-point play.
Man, I wish I could do that.
They're still buzzing in here. I don't blame them.
Holy smokes, the murmur throughout the crowd.
Jerry Stackhouse in the game now, giving it up to Nowitzki. Stackhouse had 14 off the bench for Dallas, and he hits again. Now there's an offensive weapon, Jerry Stackhouse. One season at Washington, he averaged 29 points a game. So he's capable of putting up points in bunches. Right down to Yao again. He's had a terrific first quarter. Back to McGrady. Wesley's open. One extra pass. Sura gets all day and hits a 3. It's the first 3-pointer for Houston.
Great ball movement that time to find the open shooter, make the extra pass.
Biggest lead of the game for Houston. Nowitzki takes it in. Bradley got the rebound. Stackhouse puts up a 3 and hits.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse is not in the game to play defense.
No, sir.
He's in the game to score points, and he is instant offense. The Rockets are going to have to get him covered.
Look at the bench points right now. Of course, the Rockets haven't used the bench very much, and Bradley steamrolls Yao Ming. And boy, he's going to get a tee if he doesn't watch it.
All right, Bill, let's watch the Rockets offense on this play now. Now let's watch, go ahead and run it. And the ball is, stop it right there. Here is the key play right there. Ryan Bowen setting a pick on Dirk Nowitzki for the open jump shot for Bobby Sura. That is the little things that Ryan Bowen will do for your team.
Now get a load of this. Already 2 fouls by Bradley. Van Horn had 3, and Dampier had 2. So, Matt, that's, by my math, 7 fouls already.
Did you use your toes?
Yes, I did. Both hands, actually. I have 3 more left.
Well, Yao is going to have to take advantage of that. He's done a great job of getting his defenders into foul trouble. They're going to have to play him a little bit lighter, and Yao can take advantage of that.
Stackhouse with a turnover.
Another turnover.
That's number 6 for Dallas. Mavericks just look a little out of sorts. The Rockets have come out again with a strong first quarter. Sura turns the corner. Harris is right on top of him. Harris gets the steal. Harris to the basket. McGrady with a foul and a layup by Finley. Harris is giving Sura some problems. That's the plan.
Well, Harris is much quicker than Bobby Sura is. So he's just getting up in Bobby's jersey and playing some tough D.
Houston calls a timeout. These fans are accustomed to getting to the free throw line 42 times in game 1. They're upset right now. .308 left to play in the first quarter. Rockets are up by 2. David Wesley said it best when he talked about the Rockets and their great team chemistry.
it is a fun group. We all get along. We all have a lot of fun. It makes it easier to want to come to work. And, you're coming with a group of guys that like to be together, like to be around each other, even on the road. As much as we've been on the road this, last month and a half, it's kind of nice to be with guys you can have fun with. So the chemistry is real good, even in the locker room as well as on the floor.
Well, Bill, I'll tell you, it is so important to have good team chemistry, and the Rockets really do have that. I think Carol Dawson has done an incredible job of putting this team together. Carol knows something about team chemistry. The team chemistry we had in 94 and 95 for the championships was a key to our victories. This team has that chemistry, both on the court and off the court. And when you can go to work every day and really enjoy your job, it makes it so much easier.
Well, Yao Ming and Bob Sura have 18 of the last 21 Houston points. Yao off to a terrific start. Yao Ming already has 4 more points than he had the entire game in Game 1. He's got 15 points in the first quarter. 4 for 4 from the field, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Yao Ming gotten off to a fantastic start. That helps the chemistry a little bit.
Yes, it does.
All right, Bobby will bring it in. And Wesley will set up the play. Looking for McGrady. Now Stackhouse is trying to guard him. Wesley, great pass to Bowen for 2 down the baseline.
That's just a great job from David Wesley to play it broken down. He made something happen.
Stackhouse turns the corner. Ball is loose. Stackhouse drives it inside. Lost it. A blocking foul is called on David Wesley. First foul of the game on David. It's the 14th foul on Houston. Jeff Van Gundy barking instructions.
He's a perfectionist, Bill.
Yes, he is.
He likes things done the right way every time.
Bradley, baseline jumper. I can hit that shot.
Yeah, Sean Bradley can hit the open jump shot, but that's not something that's going to win basketball games for the Dallas Mavericks.
29-27 Houston, a much higher scoring first quarter. Sura taking it down the baseline. Back to Bowen. McGrady with a little fake. And look at Harris with his 3rd steal already of the game. Harris. And McGrady knocks it out of bounds. That Devin Harris has been the difference for Dallas. He's kept them in the game.
Well, after the 5 minutes in the Game 1 where he was totally ineffective, he's come back here in Game 2. A nice little block shot there. He's come back and really given his team a spark. Got to give that rookie a lot of credit.
6'3" rookie out of Wisconsin, #1 draft choice. Came over actually in a trade before the draft, Stackhouse. Back to Nowitzki. Backing it in on McGrady, and a foul is whistled on Tracy. That's his first foul of the game, so everybody in the starting 5 for Houston with 1 foul.
Let's watch here. Let's see if Tracy gets all ball or if he gets a little bit of the arm. Dirk takes it in, and hard to tell from that angle, but Dirk Nowitzki is a guy who has a reputation of shooting a lot of free throws, and the officials are going to send him there if there's a doubt.
Dirk Nowitzki in his 7th year, of course, from Germany, one of the great draft day trades. Selected by Milwaukee with the 9th pick in the first round. They traded it to Dallas for Robert Tractor Trailer, and the rest is history.
Well, I played with Tractor Trailer in Charlotte, and he's a great guy, but he's no Dirk Nowitzki on the court.
This game is tied at 29. John Barry in the game now on the drive. JB. Yao Ming took it away and slams it home over Bradley. Yao Ming is playing possessed here tonight. 17 points for the Little Giant. Good box out by McGrady. 1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Barry is open. Shoots a 3 and misses. Barry, Sura, Wesley, McGrady, and Yao Ming.
Pretty good lineup out there for the Rockets as far as offense and ball movement is concerned.
Nowitzki swings it inside, missed it, had to rush that shot, picked up in the air. McGrady's got it. McGrady in the open court, that can be dangerous. Over to John Barry for the reversal, missed it. And And Dallas with the rebound. Foul is called on Bob Sura behind the ball.
I didn't see what happened. I was blocked out by the official, but John Barry complaining he got fouled on the layup. Things are getting a little chippy here, Bill. It must be the playoffs.
So Yao Ming now will come out. He played 11 of the 12 minutes, 17 points for Yao. Sura will come out of the game.
Oh, yeah. That's where the play was right there. Sean Bradley sets a pick on Bobby Sura 75 feet from the basket, and Bobby took exception to that.
So the Rockets now will go with Mike James, Wesley, Dikembe Mutombo, John Barry, and Tracy McGrady. Dallas will show some difference. Here comes Marquise Daniels into the game now for his first playoff action. He'll stay in with Harris, Finley. Alan Henderson prepares to check in for Bradley. Final 51 seconds. Bradley misses.
Was it the playoffs? Marquise Daniel in his rookie years, didn't he have a great playoffs?
Yes, he did. Well, he had a great finish to the season, too. Remember, they had all those injuries last year, and Daniels, who was a free agent, came out of nowhere to average about 20 points a game.
Well, when you have practically unlimited funds, you can have a pretty deep team like that.
Yeah, he's got an $86 million payroll.
That's only 2 or 3 times the salary cap.
Yep. James taking it to Mutombo. McGrady with a rebound, trying to reposition. Puts it up in there and count it. McGrady will try to make another 3-point play from the line. Tracy McGrady is possessed here tonight.
That is a power move right there, Bill. You don't normally think of Tracy McGrady having this kind of strength around the basket, but he just forces it up. Man, how does it go? Oh, there. Oh, yeah, I'm strong there. Showing his muscles.
So T-Mac now picking up where Yao Ming left off. Yao had 17 first quarter points. McGrady now going for 10. That's 27 points by the dynamic duo for Houston. 4-point Houston lead. Rockets can still, if they can defend on this possession, will get plenty of time for the final shot of the quarter. Stackhouse gets a pick from up top. Missed it. Rebound. Over Mutombo. Missed again. Mutombo with a rebound. 10 seconds left. And it's knocked out of bounds by Houston. So Dallas can get the final shot.
It's always a killer when you play 24 seconds of good defense and then you don't get the rebound and you give the other team a second chance.
Harris brings it into Stackhouse. Plenty of time. 10-year veteran from North Carolina. McGrady picks him up. McGrady's guarded everybody on the floor tonight. Stackhouse misses on the layup. So after game 1, the Rockets won the first quarter 26-16. But it's been Yao Ming in game 2 with 17 first quarter points. And the Rockets win the first 12 minutes 34-30 here on TV 51. Welcome back to the NBA playoffs. Round 1. This is game 2, and the Houston Rockets win the first quarter 34-30. Here's a look at the GMC Truck upcoming playoff schedule. And we will be back in Houston for game 3 Thursday night at 8:30 on FSN Houston. If you don't have your tickets to the game, game 4 also at Houston will be Saturday afternoon. That game also on FSN Houston. If you can't be with us at the Toyota Center, game 5, if necessary, we'll be back here in Dallas. Yao Ming with 17 first quarter points. Tracy McGrady with 10.
Looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game tonight, Bill.
Yeah.
I was surprised game 1, neither team got to 100 points. But here in game 2, it looks like both teams' offenses are clicking on all cylinders. This is the kind of basketball I like to watch. I like to see some teams put some points on the board.
Now, what does that tell you, Matt, about the Rockets able to win low-scoring games, also able to score fast?
Well, the Rockets have really been able to to win basketball games this year in all different kinds of ways. And that's just a credit to not only the players but the coaching staff. And you don't want to be kind of pegged as a one-trick pony. You know, you want to be able to do a lot of good things, well, and that's what the Rockets can do.
Well, again, that full court pressure by Dallas. Avery Johnson trying to create some turnovers. He feels like his team's a little quicker than Houston, but that time Wesley beat him down the court. And Mike James will be matched up with Jason Terry. Wesley, look at Nowitzki chasing Wesley.
They're in that press, and they got switched off.
And Wesley taking it inside. How did he get that up and under Dirk Nowitzki?
Looked like he was just trying to draw a little foul, and he was still able to make the basket. That's what you got to do, though, if you got a big man on you. Now see David Wesley's got to guard Dirk.
And Dirk makes him pay. But for Nowitzki, that's only 7 points. You can live with that. Barry beats it down the court. Got it inside the paint. Back to Wesley for the jumper, short.
That press that Dallas has come out with has really increased the pace of this game. The Rockets don't need to be running with the Dallas Mavericks. They need to take some time and set up.
But that's the reason for the press, right?
Absolutely.
Dallas wants that tempo. And Nowitzki with a miss and Barry with a rebound.
See, Dallas sees this game is going to be a high-scoring game, and they're the second highest-scoring team in the league. They want to get some possessions and pump up the score a little bit.
Barry's open, leans in for 3 and hits it. John Barry had that crucial 3 late in game 1, and he's got one here in the second quarter. Those are the first bench points for Houston.
Oh, that was good offense that time, Bill. The Rockets were able to break the press, but they didn't take the first shot that came available. They moved the ball around to find a good open shot.
Marquise Daniels rushes one up. Rebound. Nowitzki, baseline jumper, got it. A little bigger Dallas team now outside of Mutombo. Nowitzki at 7 feet tall, and Alan Henderson and Jason Terry with a foul in the backcourt. Jeff Van Gundy telling Dikembe Mutombo, don't run off and leave him. He may need some help.
If you're a big man and you see that your ball handler's getting hawked like Mike James is, that's a great time to set a good pick and knock some sense into that defender.
Grady on the baseline, attracts a double team in a hurry. That leaves Barry open as he sets, fires, hits again. They're just eating Dallas alive. Whatever Avery Johnson tries, the Rockets seem to have an answer.
Well, I mentioned that this team on the court right now for the Rockets is a great team for ball movement. That was an incredibly good pass from David Wesley to find a wide-open John Barry.
Henderson comes out to set a pick. Terry is picked up by Mutombo, and it forced a turnover. That's the 7th turnover by Dallas. Wesley's open from the corner, and he missed it. Boy, this crowd thought he was going to make it.
Well, it was wide open.
Daniels back outside. Nowitzki on the drive. Draws a foul. That's 2 plus 1. Can't let him roam through that paint like that.
No. And he's starting to get rolling now. He's got 11 points, 4 for 9 shooting, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He's starting to get his rhythm back. And let's watch this little drive down the paint from Dirk. A lot of contact, strong enough to finish. And see, he's getting excited now. He's starting to feel it. You don't want Dirk to start to feel it.
And you can't let him get that deep, can you?
No, if you're going to foul in the playoffs, if you're going to foul a guy that close to the basket, you might as well foul him hard enough where he's not going to make the shot. That's called a playoff foul. You don't want to be flagrant with it, but you want to make sure he can't make that shot.
So Nowitzki gets a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. He has 12 points. McGrady has played the entire way. Wesley just did come out. Bowen came in for David. McGrady gets a step on Stackhouse. Barry's open again. Barry hits again. 3 in a row. 9 points, just like that for John Barry.
Barry's got to have a timeout. You cannot leave shooters like John Barry wide open.
Well, we talked about the coaching matchup. Everything that Avery Johnson has tried, Jeff Van Gundy has had more than enough answers. And John Barry with 3 3-pointers in a row, and the Rockets with an 8-point lead.
This is a triple 2
45-37, an 8-point Houston lead, and the Rockets are expecting everybody to be out at Toyota Center Thursday night. That's an 8:30 tip-off. We are almost sold out of tickets, but you can still get some if you want to put a deposit down for next year's season tickets. You can get tickets to the playoffs. So cheer now, pay later. So call and visit Rockets.com. John Barry, JB for 3, we like to call it. He's done it 3 times in a row, and he's rolling the dice.
Well, whenever you're a shooter and you're getting open looks like that, you are loving it. I don't expect him to continue to get those open looks, but he's rolling the dice right there, Bill.
And Matt, that ought to warm your heart to see that, those 3-pointers from John Barry.
Well, John Barry's a great 3-point shooter, and everyone in the league knows it. And when I was playing, obviously, that was my specialty. And I remember you and Calvin always used to say, why did they leave that guy open?
That's right.
And now I'm sitting over here and I'm thinking, why in the heck are they leaving John Barry open, man? This guy is a 3-point shooter.
He forced him to call a timeout. JB, of course, was raised in Houston when his daddy played for the Rockets in that 79-80 season. He and his brothers, Scooter and Drew and Brent Barry, they were all little tykes. They were ball boys for the Houston Rockets. This is his 8th team in 13 seasons. Just like his daddy, Rick, he has a high basketball IQ.
Yeah. And he can shoot that jump shot.
Yes, he can. That's Howard. Hits a 3-pointer. And Howard has been heard from for the first time tonight.
Well, I mentioned before this season started, or this series started, that this was going to be the marquee matchup in the Western Conference. These two teams going at it. And, man, what a ball game we've got today.
3 for 4 from the 3-point line for Dallas. The Rockets are 4 for 7. 3 of those John Barry. Shot clock now down to 6 seconds already. Mike James steps back behind the 3-point line, misses, and the rebound to Dampier. He's back in the game. Nowitzki lost the ball. And Bowen,
he's trying everything.
He was biting his kneecaps. Nowitzki fades back, and a foul is on Ryan Bowen. Now, this is what aggravates players who play against Nowitzki. He gets every whistle there is to get.
Well, officials claim that they don't call fouls for all-stars, but I want to see where the contact is here. There is not one bit of contact on that play.
Well, he fell back.
Dirk was fading away. Ryan was straight up and down. You could actually see space in between those two players. There's no way that's a foul.
Oh, the great acting jobs. This guy is a great actor, isn't he? But he's a great player.
You grew up in Hollywood? No, Germany.
Germany.
Not too many German film stars, are there?
Well,
Arnold. He's Austrian, though, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine Dirk walking out there? I'll be back.
No, I can't. But that's good, then.
I remember we were in New York City and we saw Van Damme. He was a big action star.
Yeah, great actor. Huh?
Yeah. He was about 6'2", and me and the guy who were there were both 7-footers. We were towering over him. He left. He felt tiny.
Shot clock now down to 8 seconds. Ryan Bowen turning inside. Shoots it over Nowitzki, just barely draws iron.
Well, that's not Ryan's strength. You don't want to give him the basketball with the shot clock going down.
Daniels back into the corner now. Jason Terry on a nice pickup by Houston. Barry knocks it away. Ball loose and a jump ball.
But John Barry caught one in the face. Not sure. Now look, Dikembe's kicking him. Get up. That happened to him earlier, right? When John Barry got the back spasms?
Yep.
And Yao started kicking him. This time, I don't think it's a back spasm, but I think John Barry got hit in the face. Taking some punishment there from his teammates. Let's watch and see if we can see where John gets hit in the face. Oh, yeah, right on Dikembe's leg.
He's a tough guy. In fact, all of these Rockets have that junkyard dog mentality.
Oh,
a lot of Mario Ellies out there, aren't there?
Normally, Dikembe will knock your teeth out with his elbow. This time, it's like he might have broken John Barry's nose with his knee.
Yao Ming back into the game now. Dikembe will sit down. So some blood has been drawn off the side of the nose, so they'll have a blood stoppage here. You've got 30 seconds, don't you, to fix it?
You've got to be able to stop that bleeding. And if John Barry's not able to come back in the game and shoot his free throws, he won't be able to come back in for the rest of the game. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So Keith Jones, they're giving him a little gauze to stick in there and stop the bleeding.
JB talked about it yesterday about being a role player. He said he takes great honor in that. He said there's nothing wrong with being a role player. The great stars have to have role players. There are 400 players in the NBA, Matt.
Yes.
Only about, 30 or 40 really big superstars, and there got to be you were a role player.
Well, and I always thought, it's very, very difficult for guys. Every guy who plays in the NBA was a star in college. When you come to the NBA, not everyone can be a star, and it's very difficult for some people to make that transition from being a starter to being a bench player. And John Barry's one of those guys that's really been able to make that transition where he can come into the game and really affect the game when he comes in cold off the bench.
Josh Howard should be favored since he's taller than John. He should be favored to get this tip. And he does, but Mike James steals it. And Bowen has it. Mavs are on an 8-3 run now, the last minute 20. So the Rockets need some points. Yao Ming back into the game, will shoot the jumper, and it stays in the basket.
And Yao is still perfect.
Hey, he hasn't missed a thing. He's 6 for 6 from the field, 7 of 7 from the free throw line.
19 points so far for Yao.
Well, we were wondering when he was going to come to the playoffs. He has. Daniels puts it up, missed it. Bowen tips it away over to John Barry.
Look inside. There he is.
And there he is. As Barry puts it up, missed it. Tipped up by Bowen. Bowen keeps it alive. And finally into the hands of Josh Howard. And Howard. Ryan Bowen.
He's everywhere, man.
Hey, one thing about Ryan Bowen, he's like the Tasmanian devil.
Man, this guy is a hustler. That's why he's trying to get the ball there, bouncing it around, tipping it around. And then, I got to hustle back on D. Let me get back. Oops.
Well, they just had the NFL draft. He might have been a nice free safety.
Holy smokes. That guy, he can hit.
That's a third foul now on Ryan.
Well, he gets his money's worth. That's for sure. He's out on the court. He's going to play as hard as he can.
David Wesley has checked into the game now for Ryan, and he will guard the inbounds play. 6:37 left to play in the first half.
That's Ryan Bowen is another guy coming off the bench. But if you're a coach, you know you're going to get effort from him no matter what. And it's just got to be a great feeling to have. You know you can put him in the game and he's going to be playing hard.
And almost a steal for Wesley, but he's called for his second foul of the game. That's the third team foul on the Rockets. Make it the fourth team foul on the Rockets. Only one team foul has been whistled, and Dampier is at the free throw line. He is not a real good free throw shooter. Shoots him at 60% on the season.
Well, that foul looked like a lot of basketball by David Wesley. A lot of times the officials will not call that foul and just give the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. So Bowen hurt himself. He's going to the locker room now. Dampier in his 9th season out of Mississippi State. This is only his second NBA playoff game. He started his career, of course, with Golden State and never went to a playoff.
They claim he was the second best center in the league, or second best, or
he said he was.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yao Ming to the middle, has it knocked away. Daniels in the open court to Jason Terry. Got to pick up the shooters now. Nowitzki towering over Barry. Jumper, missed it. And the rebound to McGrady. Nowitzki has a huge height advantage, but he's not hitting that shot. And James rushed that up. That's not his shot. He was way off balance. 5:50 left in the second quarter.
Saw the field goal stats there. The Rockets getting quite a few more shots, but just not making them. Great call that time. That's a moving pick on Dampier, and that is not his fault. Jason Terry has got to wait for the picker to be set before he goes on that pick and roll.
Bad news, that's 3 fouls for Dampier. Van Horn has 3, Bradley has 2, and the Rockets have the lead. Rockets up by 4, 5:43 left to play here in the second period. Games 3 and 4 are coming to the Toyota Center in Houston. The only way to guarantee a seat to this year's playoffs, put down a deposit for next year's season tickets. You can call or visit Rockets.com. We hope you're in. We want to see you there Thursday night. Now, if you talk about road wins in the NBA playoffs, the Rockets are road warriors, and they almost did it in one season, 38%. But, Matt, I remember in 1995 in those playoffs, they had to go on the road. They had 9 road wins in 95 to win the NBA title.
The Rockets were the 6th seed this year and really had to climb up the mountain to win the NBA championship for the second time. But when you got Akeem Olajuwon, easier to climb that mountain.
Sam Cassell, he thought this was easy. He won his first 2 years. He won 2 championships. And there was the big kiss of death shot by Mario Elie to make the comeback against the Phoenix Suns. They were down 3-1 to Phoenix.
There's the kiss. There's Kenny Smith.
Rudy T saying yes. And eliminated the Suns. And then, of course, this was the embarrassment of David Robinson. He was the MVP that year in the NBA, and Hakeem turned him every which way but loose.
Hakeem averaged over 40 points that series, and then after the series he said, hey, why'd they give him my trophy?
And then a 4-game sweep of Orlando. Rockets won 9 road games that season. There's a turnover. Jason Terry in the open court. Nowitzki, nice little fake, takes it in. Mike James knocks it away, gets the pass from McGrady. James the other way for 2. Great hustle by Mike James to get back on defense. And the Rockets, that's a 4-point turnaround, 49-43 Houston. Dallas has never had the lead. Howard. Got it.
Now this is the matchups on the court right now. Yao Ming was guarding Josh Howard, and it's interesting to watch it. Avery keeps putting out small lineups, and Jeff keeps sticking with his rotation. So neither coach is really backing down in this chess match right now.
Brady to the basket, floats it up, and Yao Ming had the ball. It was knocked away, out of bounds, off Dallas.
Well, we got a foul on Tracy McGrady.
Oh, did they? Okay, I'm sorry. Did not see it.
Dirk had the ball, and of course he's going to draw a foul.
That's number 2 on T-Mac.
Let's watch and see. Dirk's trying to get the ball here, and Tracy reaches in there and slaps him right across the face. Dirk gives him the old, ow, I got hit in the face.
He can act. He's a great player, but he would have fit in well with the Utah Jazz.
Oh, man.
Greatest
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Well, Dirk is sort of a, he's kind of a female fan's favorite here in Dallas. He may have he might be a movie star when he retires from basketball.
Well, he goes back to Germany every summer. He plays for the German national team, and he's really worshipped over there. And, of course, his parents both were elite-level German athletes. His father played handball. His mother played for the German national basketball team. And his sister worked for NBA International TV. So they're into basketball in Germany. 49-46, Houston. Down to Yao Ming. Working on Nowitzki with a turnaround. Got it. Yao Ming is unstoppable. 21 points.
I think you're looking at the second best center in the league right there in Yao Ming, not Eric Dampier.
No, of course. James goes for the steal on Howard. Howard lays it up, gets the basket and draws. Foul number 2 on Yao Ming.
Well, that's an incredibly tough matchup for Yao, trying to guard Josh Howard. There's no way that Yao's going to be able to stop him. The only advice I could give him would be to back way off, force him to shoot a jump shot. Let's watch the Shanghai Shake here. Nice move. Froze Dirk Nowitzki and swish. Easy money there, Bill.
Yes, it was. We've had the Dream Shake and the Shanghai Shake. That's not bad. A save by Dallas on the rebound. Finley with a 3. And Dallas has fought all the way back after being down by 8 points to tie it up. James gets Push it over the 8-point line. You cannot hear in this place.
So long, John Barry couldn't get the timeout called.
Well, we've got one. 3:39 left. Going to be hard to take this crowd out of the game right now. They are in it. Dallas has never led, but the Mavericks have caught up. They finally got something to cheer about here in Dallas. They tied it up at 51. Let's take a look at tonight's Polaroid picture-perfect shot. It'll be a Tracy Facey.
Wow. That was nasty. Take a Polaroid of that and make a poster out of it right there.
Well, he posterized a couple of Mavericks. Well, they get into it here, don't they? How about that suit?
That would look good on you, Bill. Yeah, the Mavs fans are back into the game, Bill.
Mavericks on a 14-6 run in the last 4 minutes. And Josh Howard with 7 of those 14 points. But you knew this was going to happen, so let's see now if the Rockets can maintain their poise, Jeff. Right now, 51% shooting by Dallas, 51% shooting by Houston.
Dallas Mavericks are a very, very good basketball team. You know, their good season they had was no fluke. The Rockets know that this is going to be a very, very tough series. Each game is going to be hard fought. The Rockets did a great job of stealing game 1. They've done a great job here in the first half of game 2 of taking Dallas's best shot and keeping the game tied.
Dallas won 58 games, 9 in a row to win the season. The Rockets won 51, 7 in a row to win the season. McGrady is fouled, and he will shoot. Josh Howard. He was right inside the three-point line, so he's led the league this year in three-point free throws. But let's see where he was now.
Nice pick by Yao. Tracy sees a little opening and just gets it right on the elbow. Danny Crawford, a good job of seeing that little touch foul.
The Rockets bench says it was a 3. They had a better look at it than we did. We were behind him with the camera angle, so it was impossible for us to tell, but Jeff Van Gundy is arguing for 3. The Rockets are 15 of 15 from the free throw line.
Well, we don't want to jinx them, but they've only missed 2 free throws in the entire series so far.
Josh Howard taking it inside and puts it up over Yao Ming for 2.
Josh Howard's got 6 of the last 10 points for the Mavericks because Yao is guarding him, and that's where they're going with a mismatch. Jeff Van Gundy staying with Yao in that particular matchup.
There's a trap. Yao Ming's got it over to McGrady. Yao wants it. He's got Nowitzki right on his hip. Back to T-Mac. James. 8 on the shot clock. James on the drive. Floats it up. Got it. Nope. Off the iron. He'll shoot 2. I thought for a minute it was going to be a 3-point play. That ball hung on the front of the iron.
The Rockets.
Stackhouse with his second. Sorry,
Yep.
Mike.
If the Rockets are going to stick with this lineup, they've got to go inside to Yao. That's where, you know, if he's got to guard Josh Howard on one end, they've got to give him the ball on the other end and let him take advantage of the mismatch on the offensive end.
The Mavericks started out with Josh Howard on T-Mac in game 1.
See, there's Jeff Van Gundy telling Yao, hey, you've got the size. You've got to go ahead and turn around and shoot that ball.
Yeah. A little pep talk?
Yeah. Well, he's just teaching him, you know.
Yeah.
Yao's still young.
Howard. Picked up by Yao Ming. They've used several different combinations. They've had 4 different people on Yao, and there's Howard taking it inside again. Well, he's the guy right now for Dallas.
Well, he's taking advantage of his mismatch. Let's see if Yao can get the ball inside.
Nowitzki putting a lot of body on Yao Ming. Mike James with that high arching jumper. Missed it. Rebound. Jason Terry. Terry with the crossover back outside. Nowitzki from 16. Missed it. Yao Ming had a hand in his face. McGrady. James misses bad. Wesley misses badly.
David Wesley only 1 for 5 from the field tonight. I still think the Rockets need to go inside the Yao.
Turnover. Nowitzki loses the ball. Wesley will work on toe. That's got to be a flagrant. And the Rockets will get 2 free throws plus the basketball. That was uncalled for.
Let's watch here. There's the steal. 2-on-1 fast break. David Wesley takes it himself. And
he wasn't even going for the ball.
No, he was going for the head. There's no way he's going for the ball on that play. That's an easy call for the official. And that just ramps up the intensity in this playoff series one more notch.
And David misses the first free throw, and he's the best free throw shooter on the team.
A lot of times if you take a hard foul like that, it's difficult to make those free throws because you, especially if you get hit in the head, you can be a little bit, have some cobwebs in there.
David gets 1 out of 2. The Rockets will get the basketball. You've got to make an attempt to steal the ball or go for the basketball. If you do and it's a hard foul, they'll usually let you get away with it. But that was not even close.
Yeah, he wasn't even pretending like he was going for the ball.
This game has really gotten physical now. And a foul is called on John Barrett.
They called it on Tracy McGrady.
Call it on McGrady?
How is there a foul on Tracy McGrady? He's coming to get the pass.
That's his 3rd foul of the game.
I have no idea how that's a foul on Tracy McGrady. If anything, it's a foul on Howard for running over John Barry. Tracy McGrady can't believe it.
Scott Padgett will come into the game, and for the first time, Tracy McGrady will go out.
No idea. Tracy's like, what in the heck are you calling?
Minute and a half left to play. It's a big turnaround now for the Mavericks if they can finish with a rush. Trailing by 1. Sura, Barry, Padgett, Yao, and Wesley. Very small lineup for Houston. Nowitzki down the baseline, reversed it up, missed it, tipped up in the air, and Padgett with a rebound. So again, the Rockets dodge a bullet. Mavericks have had 3 different possessions to try to take the lead and have failed on all 3. Let's see if the Rockets can score now. Looking down to Yao Ming. Got Nowitzki behind him, and Yao takes Nowitzki to the basket. Yao Ming with 23.
Wow, what a quick move from Yao.
Down to Josh Howard. He has been the offensive force for Dallas. And the ball is loose. Rockets strip it free. Sura back to Barry, and it's a turnover.
Jeff Van Gundy a little salty about the pass from his players, and Michael Finley wanted to get the ball and get out on the fast break.
22nd timeout taken by Avery Johnson. With 38 seconds. Well, you knew this was going to happen. The Dallas Mavericks cannot afford to lose this game tonight. If they go down 0-2 with the series going back to Houston, they're desperate, and they are fighting and clawing. I mean, it has really become a physical game. This 22nd timeout brought to you by Deja Blue, the official bottled water of the Houston Rockets. This was a Dallas team. Everybody in Dallas picked Dallas to win it in 5. Well, at the most 6.
I think 5 games or 6 games is right. Maybe just not Dallas winning it. Good timeout that time from Avery Johnson. 38.9 seconds left.
Clarence Weatherspoon has gone in for Yao Ming. Yao has 2 fouls, so look how short this lineup is by Jeff Van Gundy.
Yep. Jeff Van Gundy able to, he's trying to play a little defense there on the inbounder. But anyway, good timeout from Avery Johnson to draw up a play. Dallas Mavericks have a chance to go 2 for 1 here at the end of the first half.
Weatherspoon will try to stay with Nowitzki, and that's what they were afraid was going to happen. That's why Clarence has not played in this series.
Well, that's tough. You're sitting the entire first half.
Yeah.
You got to come in cold and then guard Dirk Nowitzki. That's a tough matchup right there.
So Nowitzki will be shooting free throws number 9 and 10, so he's headed for another 20 free throw game. And that's one of your keys. You said you wanted to keep him off the free throw line, but he gets a lot of calls.
You saw he was 4 for 13 from the field, so his cold shooting continues. He's only got 2 rebounds and 1 assist.
They missed 9 free throws in game 1, and they are one of the best free throw shooting teams in the NBA.
Yep. But Dirk Nowitzki is not shooting the ball well at all from the field, and then also not doing anything else on the court. And that's something that, if you're going to be a great player in this league, if you have an off-shooting night, you've still got to be able to affect the game somehow.
All right, Henderson will come in for Stackhouse. Boy, Del Harris is doing some coaching down there, isn't he? He's been doing the majority of the talking.
Well, he's good at that.
Diagramming the plays. He's a good basketball coach.
Yeah, and he's a great guy, too. I always enjoy talking with Del Harris.
When he coached the Rockets, they went 40 and 42, took the Rockets to the NBA Finals in 80-81. Wesley gets it across on the press, and the Rockets want a 20-second timeout. The crowd booing, they thought it was traveling. Of course, Daniels helped him a little bit. Again, we want to remind you now that playoff games 3 and 4 are coming to Houston. Game 3 is Thursday night at the Toyota Center. Game 4 is Saturday afternoon at the Toyota Center. The only way to guarantee a seat to the playoffs, put a deposit down for next year's season tickets. So call or visit Rockets.com.
Well, we know everyone's excited to listen to you talk, Bill, but if you really want to be excited, go to the Toyota Center and see a game.
I'm much more excited about going and watching the game, man.
There's nothing like playoff basketball, Bill, and if you can experience it in person, man, that's the way to do it.
It really is. All right, Dallas will be sending out Nowitzki, Henderson, Terry Daniels, and Finley. Yao Ming will go out with Sura, Barry, Wesley, and Padgett. There's about a 5-second difference in the game clock and the shot clock.
What they're trying to figure out, what the officials are trying to figure out is, on a 20-second timeout, you're not supposed to be able to sub unless the other team makes a sub. And I guess Yao came in, so there's where
he'd already come in.
Right.
Padgett loses the ball, gets it back. It was touched by Dallas. You can take it in the backcourt. Sura, one extra pass. Wesley looks up at the shot clock. 7 seconds. Good time. Go back outside to Sura. Back to Wesley. Wesley with a jumper. Missed it. Too hard. Padgett. Oh! Scotty Padgett tipped it back up and in off the glass with 3 seconds left to play in the half. Oh, my goodness. Scotty Padgett. And that was his first 2 points of the series, and spectacular they were.
Athletic move there from Scott Padgett. Hanging in the air and putting it back in with one hand.
Finley gets it in. 2 seconds. Down to 1. Finley will throw it up and miss it. The Dallas Mavericks have never led in this first half. The Rockets go to the locker room, leading it 60-56. 37-9 when leading at halftime, and they want to keep that trend going. Tracy McGrady with a little wink. So stay with us. Halftime report comes your way after the break. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to American Airlines Center in Dallas. The Rockets lead it by 4. The Mavericks have never had the lead in this game. They've gotten right there to tie it up a couple of times, but the Rockets have answered the challenge.
What a great first half of basketball. High scoring, both teams very efficient on offense. This is the kind of basketball I like to watch.
Yesterday in the press conference, Tracy McGrady, they said, well, what's going to happen if Dallas takes the ball out of your hands? He says, well, we'll have to win with Yao. And that's what they're doing tonight, aren't they? 23 points.
Yeah, 23 points for Yao in the first half. 17 of those came in the first quarter. That is 1 point off of the Rockets' all-time record. Akeem had 18 points in the first quarter 10 years ago. So Yao playing a great first half. He's been efficient. He's been powerful. He's been quick. He's making some great moves to the basket, and he's getting some great passes from Tracy McGrady.
Matt, they've tried every defense on Yao. They have. Now they're down to Nowitzki, and look at Nowitzki. He couldn't even stay with Yao Ming. They have tried 4 different players on Yao. Will they stay with Nowitzki?
I don't think they can. I think Yao is having too good of a game. They're going to have to start doubling Yao, which means open shots for the Rockets shooters. Now, Tracy McGrady only has 12 points in the first half, but he has been passing the ball great. I still don't think they're going to give him a shot at shooting the basketball. So if they take away Tracy and Yao, Rocket shooters like John Barry, David Wesley are going to have a field day.
What a basketball game. This is what it's all about here tonight, and the Rockets lead by 4. Stay with us. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment on TV 51. Here are tonight's Bud Light first half stats. Both teams shooting the ball exceptionally well, and that seems like a high number of free throws. But, Matt, what's keeping Dallas in the game right now?
There you go. 14 second chance points for the Mavericks. That's what's keeping them in the game. The Rockets are going to have to start keeping them off the offensive glass.
Rockets with only 7 turnovers, and that's pretty good right now. So let's find out what adjustments the Rockets will make as we go to Jeff Hagedorn.
All right, Bill, assistant head coach Tom Thibodeau has always given me a few keys for the second half. Number 1, finish on defense. Their second chance points, the Mavs' second chance points, have kept them in it. They are 6 of 7, 13 points in terms of second chance points. Defensively, when they go small, the rest of the team has got to help Yao on Howard, and Yao has got to move his feet a little bit better. Also, Dirk Nowitzki just 4 of 13 from the field, but he's made a living at the line so far tonight. The Rockets have to limit their fouls. Back to you.
Well, those are almost the keys to games 1 and 2 is what Matt Bullard was talking about. Keep Nowitzki off the line. The Rockets lead by Yao Ming with 23 points. McGrady has 12. John Barry with those 3 threes in a row. Bob Sura with 5. For the Dallas Mavericks, Josh Howard had the big second quarter to get the Mavericks back into the game. Nowitzki with 16, but Nowitzki only 4 of 13 from the field. He's gotten his 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Howard with 11. Well, if you lose the battle of second chance points, and you can't keep Nowitzki off the line, and you still win the game.
Yep. That's what we had talked about earlier in the first half. The Rockets are able to win basketball games in many different ways. And in game number 1, the Rockets were able to withstand 42 free throws from the Dallas Mavericks and win game 1. Now here in game 2, they're up by 4 points at halftime, giving up way too many second chance points and putting Nowitzki on the line way too much. Rockets looking good. The thing I thought was interesting about Thibodeau's tips was Yao's got to move his feet on defense. That tells me that they're going to stick with Yao against Josh Howard, and so they've got to go inside to Yao and let him go to work and have a great second half just to follow up his first half.
Matt, remember we showed you that statistic at the start of the second quarter. It was 11-0 bench points in favor of Dallas. Well, the Rockets turned that around in the second quarter. The Houston bench now has outscored the Dallas bench by 1 point, 15-14. So in that second period, the Rockets outscored them 15-zip.
Yep. The benches are a big key to this series. Both teams have strong benches. Of course, the Mavericks with Stackhouse and Van Horn and Sean Bradley giving them 5 points tonight. That's a bonus anytime he can score. So what a great matchup between these two teams. What a great series we're going to have, and what a great second half to come.
3 fouls for McGrady and 3 for Bowen. But Yao Ming was able to get out of the first half with only 2 fouls. 3 fouls for Dampier, 3 for Van Horn. Both starting 5s in the game. Shot clock down to 4 seconds, down to 3. Wesley on the drive, pulls up over Josh Howard and misses. And Wesley now only 1 for 7. So David struggling a little bit with his shot here tonight, but he's playing great defense. Nowitzki shot it too hard. McGrady knocks it out of bounds.
That first offensive possession for the Rockets, the play broke down. Yao was running the wrong play, and that forced David Wesley to have to shoot a shot at the end of the shot clock. And now once again, on the other end, Rockets give up an offensive rebound. Here's a second chance opportunity for Dallas.
So a fresh 24 for the Mavericks. Jason Terry will put the ball in play. Nowitzki around the corner. Ryan Bowen was able to get a hand on it. And now he cuts Terry off. Terry will shoot it for 2. Well, they're going to say a 3.
Well, that's one thing Jason Terry can do is shoot the basketball.
He's got 8 points. 1 point Houston lead. McGrady, he rises up. He hadn't shot the ball in a long time.
Oh, he only had 6 shots in the first half. That's usually just about 6 minutes for him.
Terry getting inside the paint to Dampier, and Dallas with its first lead of the game. Finley pushes Tracy McGrady out of bounds. Well, that's the way they started the game. They started the game with Finley on T-Mac.
Let's watch this pick and roll. Terry goes away from the pick. Good penetration. No help. When Yao goes to help on the penetration, someone's got to drop in Dampier's lap. Defensive breakdown that time for the Rockets.
McGrady gets the ball down the baseline. Reversal 2.
Speaking of defensive breakdown, Tracy McGrady breaking down the Dallas defense.
He'll break you down most every time. He just makes you look bad. Finley turns that corner now. He'll put up the jumper. He wanted to pass it, I think, originally. And Dampier knocks it out of bounds.
Ryan Bowen on the box out on Eric Dampier that time. When you're undersized like Ryan Bowen, you can't always box out and then go get the rebound, but good job not allowing Dampier to get his hands on the ball.
Was Dr. Tom his coach at Iowa?
He was, yep.
Oh, he taught him the great fundamentals, didn't he? Down to Yao Ming. Yao off the glass. He had Nowitzki behind him, and he beat him easily. And Yao Ming continues with 25 points. So Dallas got that lead by 1. The Rockets reel off 4 in a row.
Got to keep going to Yao. Yao's 9 for 10, 25 points. You just can't get any more efficient than that.
Look at that switching defense, and there's another steal. McGrady knocks it away. Wesley in the open court. Wesley trying to feed it off, and he loses the ball and then commits a foul. Tough turn of events there for David Wesley. Yep. He worked hard, and Jeff Van Gundy saying way to hustle.
Yep.
Boy, the Rockets' defense is stifling, isn't it, Matt?
Oh, that's a great steal. Another steal for the Rockets. Their 9th steal of the game, but you got to take advantage of those fast break opportunities. You don't get a whole lot of them in the playoffs. You've got to be able to convert at a high percentage.
Tracy has 3 steals to go along with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Dampier slams it home. Yao was a little late getting over to help. Dampier was 7.
Yep, Yao was double teaming on the pick. Was too slow on the rotation back to his own man.
Wesley picked up by Howard. Yao comes out to set a pick. Dampier shows briefly until Howard can get down there. Now Yao takes it in on Dampier for 2 more. 27 points.
That move right there, Bill, is a great power move from Yao. We don't always see that from him, but in today's game against Dampier, he's just going at it.
And Dampier with a tip in. So now Dampier's coming to the game. Yao went over to help out. Dampier took that position. 1 point Houston lead.
Seems like Yao is helping quite a bit in this defense.
Wesley has it blocked by Howard. 11 seconds on the shot clock for Houston. Long arms of Josh Howard. 6'6", plays about 6'8".
Yep, that's an athletic move right there. He anticipated and spiked it. Looks like he's playing a little volleyball right there.
Rockets holding on to a 1-point lead. Dampier riding Yao out of the paint. Yao back to the baseline. Draws a whole crowd of Dallas Mavericks, and a 24-second clock goes off. That's the first 24-second violation tonight.
Those little things right there add up, though, in a playoff game. You don't convert on a fast break, you get a shot clock violation. Every possession is so important in the playoffs. You've got to be able to take advantage of them.
Nowitzki draws the double team. 1 extra pass to Terry for a 3. And Dallas with its biggest lead of the game. Jeff Van Gundy calls a timeout. Mavericks haven't had a lot to cheer about, but they do now. Now it's time for the Rockets to try to answer. Welcome back to the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. And the Mavericks have started off the third quarter on a 12-6 run. And they have finally gotten a 2-point lead, Matt.
Well, coming out of the halftime, it's always important to keep your momentum going. And the Dallas Mavericks came out strong. Here's their last possession. Good ball movement around the outside. And they take advantage of it. The Rockets now need to come out of this timeout and counter, get a little momentum of their own.
And Jason Terry now with 11 points. Go along with 16 Nowitzki, 11 for Howard, 27 for Yao Ming, 14 for McGrady. Now the Rockets haven't been behind in this series very much.
No, but they know that they're going to expect. Dallas is a very, very good basketball team. They've got a high-powered offense. The Rockets expect this from the Mavericks, and they're not surprised at all.
Full court pressure by Dallas. And they try to get it into Yao Ming. A turnover. Down to Nowitzki. Nowitzki rims it out, so the Rockets dodge it. The turnover didn't hurt. That pressure's given the Rockets some problems tonight. And a ball off Terry's foot.
We've got to give Dallas some credit. They have picked up their defense here in game two.
Yeah.
The Rockets have done a great job of being efficient with the offense, though, 50% shooting. But Dallas definitely playing more intense on the defensive end.
McGrady pops out and hits. Well, McGrady's been pretty quiet, and of course Dallas has had a lot to do with it by guarding him with double teams. They've given up 27 to Yao Ming, but let's see now Tracy can step up for Houston. It's tied at 68.
That time Tracy got an open look at the basket and took advantage of it, but he hasn't had very many open looks in this game, but he does have 5 assists, which means he is helping his team win.
Dampier with 5, down to 4 on the shot clock, out to Finley. Finley has to throw it up and in. And for Michael Finley, that's his first 3. Sura gets it across the line. That's his second three-pointer for Finley. He's got 10 points. Double team. Tracy lets it go away. Tracy raises up and misses. And Bowen tips it back out to Sura. Fresh 24 for Houston.
There's my guy making the hustle plays.
Wesley is open. Oh, that ball was way off the mark.
Nice pass from Yao. David Wesley's jump shot is just, I think it's just broken tonight, Bill.
Dampier turns inside and missed it, and is tipped out of bounds by Dallas. That's good reaction by the officials. Greg Willard did not see it. Dan Crawford made the right call to start with. He was right there on the baseline. You got to let the guy.
Well, that's why they have 3 officials.
That's right. And they work together well on that. Sura gets it across the line. They're trying to trap that ball, make Sura give it up. Yao Ming out high with 8 on the shot clock. Sura got to give it up in a hurry. Somebody got to shoot it. Wesley puts up the jumper off the back of the iron, and the rebound to Finley.
What that pressure defense from Dallas is doing is running a lot of time off the shot clock.
Yeah.
The Rockets are having to shoot buzzer beaters just about every time down the court.
Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Jason Terry pulls it back out. 4 seconds. Down to 3. Terry got it in the lane with a teardrop, and it's picked up and in. Josh Howard with those long arms. And this is the biggest lead of the game for the Mavericks. 5 points. Sura open and answers for a 3. How about the toughness of that guy?
That's a big shot right there, Bill. Dallas getting a little momentum, playing the pressure defense. Probably getting a good look at the basket and early in the shot clock and knocking it down.
That was huge. Howard picked up outside by Bowen. And a blocking foul on Bowen.
Well, Ryan Bowen really gives up the body. He's going to be so bruised. Let's watch him on this defensive play, just trying to stay in front of a very athletic Josh Howard, and he is moving. Good call. But he's getting beat up tonight, though. He is going to need some ice bags for sure after the game.
I didn't see that as a shooting foul, though. And Howard's going to get 2 free throws.
Well, that's a good point. Looked like it was on the floor, driving into the basket.
That was only the second team foul on the Rockets. And Howard misses. Keith Van Horn's been a long time. He got 3 fouls in the first 5 minutes, had to come out of the game. He came in early for Dampier. Now Nowitzki will get an early breather. Nowitzki only 4 for 15 again tonight. And in game 1, Nowitzki was 5 of 19.
So that's 9 for a whole bunch.
Yeah. I can't count that.
We don't have enough fingers and toes for that one.
I thought you were going to leave it up to me. You're in trouble. He gets 1 out of 2. Sura gets it across the line to Bowen. Rockets down by 3 points. T-Mac. Howard's picking him up. Now the double team comes over. Tracy goes around the double team. Back to Bowen. Baseline jumper. Ryan Bowen big.
I think Ryan should look to shoot more. He can hit those open jump shots. You know, he's not great off the dribble, but you know, when teams leave him open, he's able to hit it.
1-point game. Van Horn ran right into Wesley. Swinging around to Finley, back to Terry. Terry with a little head fake, repositions, got it. Boy, he's a great shooter, isn't he?
Top 4 in the league in shooting percentage for guards. That guy's got to feel like he's got new life coming from Atlanta to a great team like Dallas.
Really did. Went from purgatory right here to Dallas. 7 seconds on the shot clock now. Sura from way downtown, short. Dampier with a rebound. Yao falls down. Got to get back into the play. Will they attack without Yao? Van Horn does attack. Lays it up and in. Back to that 5-point lead for the Mavs. And a foul on Howard. Third foul on Josh Howard. And the second team foul on the Mavs. So Padgett now will come in for Bowen.
Good opportunity for Scott Padgett to get something going here. He had a great tip in the first half. Now he's going to get a little bit of clock here in the third quarter. Some of those shots that Ryan Bowen were passing up, Scott Padgett can knock those down.
3:03 left in the third quarter. McGrady on the drive. Yao with a rebound and the slam. Toe-to-ho Yao.
Looked like that shot almost could have been an assist off the backboard.
And Yao knocks it out of bounds. 2:45 left to play in the third quarter. The Mavericks got up by 5, but the Rockets have been able to answer the challenge. 3-point Dallas lead. Dallas up by 3, 2:45 left in the third. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. What a battle between these two tonight. Yao Ming with 29 points. That's career high for him. 9 points for Eric Dampier. But Yao has been the man for Houston tonight.
Well, he's been very efficient. And what I like is he's been very aggressive. When he gets the ball, he's taking it right to the basket. Sometimes when Eric Dampier plays him very physically, Yao will back off, but not tonight. And then Eric Dampier's played pretty well himself at the right place at the right time. And Eric Dampier, he can do that.
Well, Matt, for the Rockets, it's withstanding this Dallas run now, isn't it? Staying in the game.
That's a very big key. The Rockets knew that Dallas was going to come out. They're only down by 3 with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Rockets are taking what Dallas's best shot is. They knew it wasn't going to be easy. It's going to go down to the wire. But who is this guy right here? Is that your brother?
Somebody ought to tell that guy that he has no business out there on that floor.
How about the guy behind him? It takes all types, Bill.
Is that the radio guy, Stern?
It looks like a Howard Stern lookalike.
Howard Stern, yeah.
You know, if you're a Howard Stern lookalike,
ooh, you're in bad shape.
You're in bad shape. Oh, my goodness. If you wear star sunglasses, does that make you a star? That guy thinks so.
Yeah, he thinks so. Oh, boy. Let's go over to Jeff with Juwan Howard.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Juwan Howard is here. First of all, good to see you looking healthy and looking good. Your thoughts on the way Game 2 has unfolded here tonight?
Well, thank you, first of all. I'm just happy to see that my teammates are coming out. They're playing with a lot of energy. We know we're playing in a hostile environment. We knew this team was going to come out in a second game of this series with a lot of energy, with efforts, but I think we matched their energy.
Talk a little bit about the job that Ryan Bowen, T-Mac, and everyone really has done on Dirk Nowitzki thus far.
Well, we know that Dirk is the main guy on this team. He does a lot of scoring on this team, and that's what the offense goes through him. But we keep him contained. You know, we can go ahead and let guys like, Josh Howard try to score on Yao Ming, because that takes guys like Dirk and also guys like Michael Finley out of the game.
You're a playoff veteran. What would a 2-0 lead going back to Houston do for this team?
It would be a big confidence builder for us. And then not only that, we don't want to come back here for Game 5. So it's important for us to win this game tonight. I think our teammates know that, and Coach Van Gundy is going to make sure that everyone's informed about that.
All right, bring them home a win.
Thank you.
All right, that's Juwan Howard. Guys, back to you.
McGrady, back to Pageant. A little fake. Goes around him. Finger rolls it up and missed. Pageant really could have taken that all the way to the basket. Josh Howard takes it inside and slammed home by Dampier. Oh, is he playing big in the second half?
The Rockets need a good shot right here. They can't let this game get out of hand.
McGrady with a three.
That's a good shot. I like it. Keep it coming from McGrady.
Every time this Dallas crowd thinks they're going to break it open, somebody raises up for Houston and hits a big one. 7 of 9 behind the arc for the Mavericks. 6 of 14 for Houston. Josh Howard hits a three. They're 8 for 10 behind the arc.
That's almost 80%.
Not almost.
That's some serious shooting right there, Bill.
McGrady is fouled by Stackhouse. That's the third team foul on the Mavericks. Mike James will come in now for Sura. Mike struggling a little bit with his shot in the first half, only 1 for 4. He really didn't get him in the flow of the offense. He'll match up with Terry. 1:05 left to play in the third. This quarter has belonged to Dallas.
Dallas has really come out strong from the halftime. It seems like Tracy McGrady senses that. He's wanting to do something big right here.
McGrady to the basket for 2 more. Tracy McGrady, 21 points.
You watch that guy night after night, and he continues to amaze you with all the different ways he can score.
James out on Terry, and James picks up a foul. That's the first foul on Mike James and the 4th team foul on the Rockets. So both teams now in the penalty for the final 47 seconds. More importantly now, this is going to give a 2-for-1 edge to Dallas.
On a 2-for-1 situation, you want to shoot the ball with about 34 seconds.
Yao Ming not only blocked it, he got the rebound. Rockets have a 3-on-1. John Barry puts up the jumper. John Barry.
Tough shot.
11 points for JB.
That quick shot that time switched the 2-for-1 back into the Rockets' favor. Now the Rockets will get the ball with a little bit of time left at the end of the third quarter.
Yao comes way outside. Van Horn to the basket. It counts, and he's fouled on the play. Yao a little late getting there.
And that was a big-time move from Keith Van Horn. Let's watch Keith take it to the basket. That's just a powerful move to be able to finish that shot.
He recognized that Yao was way out high on the double team, so he just took it right to the rack, didn't he?
Yep. Yao does a lot of double teaming out on the court. Takes him a while to get back to protect that basket.
Rockets can go for the final shot now. A 6-point lead by the Mavericks. 6 seconds down to 5. James on the dribble. Lays it up and draws the foul. Keith Van Horn picks up his 4th foul of the game, and Mike will shoot 2.
Mike James is one of those players who just has a knack of finding the open spot on the court to get the shot, and that time a good job to take the ball all the way to the basket. Draw the foul.
Yao Ming will sit down for the final just under 2 seconds. Dikembe will come in for him. Ryan Bowen is coming into the game for McGrady. So this final possession, Jeff doesn't want McGrady or Yao to pick up a needless foul, so Bowen will be in there. They'll be pressing all over, won't they, Matt?
You just want to keep your guy in front of you. You don't want to give him any clear lane to the basket, and you don't want to foul.
Mike gets them both. Down court to Stackhouse. He got it off in time, and it's way off the mark. So we have played 3 quarters in game 2. And this 3rd quarter belongs to Dallas. The Mavericks outscore Houston 32-24. Welcome back to the NBA playoffs. We are in the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Game 2 of this first-round matchup. Let's take a look at tonight's D.R. Horton game summary. Nowitzki against Houston, averaging 34 during the season, only 16 tonight. McGrady with 21, Yao with 29. But the big difference right now in this game, Matt, is right there. Second chance points.
Second chance points. The Dallas Mavericks have 25, Houston only 6. The way the Rockets are playing defense is they're rotating all over the court, and they are not getting back inside and putting a body on the rebounders for the Dallas Mavericks. You see all these guys crashing the boards, tipping the ball back in. The Rockets have to do a better job of finding the rebounders and boxing them out.
This is why the Rockets miss Juwan Howard so much.
Juwan Howard, one of those veterans who knows the fundamentals, knows how to box out, does a great job. And the Rockets really do miss him. I don't really think that anyone realized how much they missed him until he was actually gone. But, the Rockets always seem to find a way to fill in the gaps.
Well, it gives them one more big body right now. Both teams shooting almost identical. 51% from the field. So Dallas will start the 4th quarter with a 4-point lead. Here we go. Devin Harris is checked into the game. Mike James trying to defense him. And Van Horn set up a pick, and James with the foul.
You mentioned both teams are shooting almost 51%. That makes those second chance points even more critical, because if the team is shooting a good percentage and you're giving them easy putbacks, it's going to be very difficult to beat them.
Van Horn with a 3, and Finley tips it, but he tips it to Mike James.
Rare miss from the 3-point line for the Mavericks. 8 for 11 now.
That's incredible shooting. Did you see Phoenix last night had 15 threes in their win over Memphis?
I was happy to see that Phoenix continued to play Phoenix-style basketball.
McGrady from the wing, and he strikes first. 23 points for T-Mac.
Tracy McGrady realizes that this game is within reach. Down by 2 points. He's starting to heat up, put his team on his shoulders, starting to take over.
Harris taking it inside, back out to Stackhouse for another 3. Wow, what an incredible shooting performance by Dallas tonight. 9 of 13 from the 3-point line for the Mavs.
Shooting better from the 3-point line than they are from the free throw line.
You're right. 91-86. McGrady coming off a pick, a little short. to Harris. Harris will fire up a three. Well, we thought maybe Dallas would try to beat Houston inside, but they're using Houston's game. 3-point shots. And this is the biggest lead of the game for the Mavericks. 8 points. Critical juncture of the game. John Barry trying to pass it off inside, and it's Dallas's ball.
The Rockets have got to make an adjustment in the game right here. They've got to start getting those Dallas three-point shooters covered. Giving the Dallas shooters way too many open looks on the outside.
Van Horn took a shot to the chops. Mavs on a 9-4 run. Crucial now. Stop here for Houston needed.
Let me guess. Dikembe Mutombo elbow probably for Van Horn's mouth.
Nowitzki has it deflected away. Barry in the open court. He's got Bowen. He's got T-Mac. And Tracy is sent into the first row.
Notice all the Rockets players around Tracy McGrady. That's a lot of the team chemistry right there. You'll see. Here's the steal. Ryan Bowen once again getting his hands on the ball. Good pass from John Barry, but Tracy McGrady knew that there was a hard foul coming. This is the playoffs.
No layups.
No layups in the playoffs. Now, I talked to Mark Cuban before the game, and he told me, he said, I think that my team needs to put a hard foul on Tracy McGrady. He said, we don't want to be flagrant with him, but he scored way too many points in the first game. We want to put a hard foul on him. We want him to think twice about taking the ball inside. That was the hard foul that Mark Cuban was looking for.
It's easy for Mark to say he's not playing. Somebody will put a hard foul on him.
Well, he was out there shooting jump shots before the game.
Yeah, those are jump shots.
I go out there and hard foul him.
21 of 22 from the line for Houston. 14 of 20 for Dallas. McGrady. Missed one. And Ryan Bowen gets the ball, wouldn't you know it? Quickly back to McGrady. Stackhouse right up in his face. McGrady to the basket. Bowen drops it off for T-Mac. 10 on the shot clock. Nice pass to Bowen. Lays it up. He's fouled.
How about that pass from Tracy McGrady? He knows that Ryan Bowen is out there playing his heart out, getting all the loose balls. Tracy could have shot that ball, but he tried to reward his teammate. Well, let's watch here. Here comes the double team on Tracy, and Ryan Bowen cuts to the hoop. What a great teammate to have. You got a guy who's the leading scorer on your team, and he gets everyone else involved. What a great guy to play with.
Ryan didn't have a lot of free throws in the regular season.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, he was
14 for 21.
14 for 21, 67%. Always difficult to get into a rhythm when you don't shoot that many.
Well, he gets 1 out of 2. And it's 94-88. 6-point. Dallas lead. Van Horn to the basket. Blocked by Dikembe Mutombo, but a foul. It's the second foul on Deke. And Van Horn will shoot.
Keith Van Horn is really taking the ball strong to the basket. No help comes over for the Rockets, so Dikembe Mutombo has to foul him, otherwise it's a dunk. Ryan Bowen a little bit late on the rotation there.
Rockets talked about the good trade with Milwaukee to get Mike James. Well, Dallas made a deal with Milwaukee to get Van Horn.
Milwaukee trading away some of their better players so that they can have some money to re-sign Michael Redd. But they certainly helped the Rockets and the Mavericks in those two trades.
And he gets both free throws. T-Mac. Finley working on him. Nowitzki trying to come over on the double team. Tracy sees him coming. Nowitzki can gamble because he's got Dikembe out there. McGrady. Nice pass to Mutombo, and he's fouled by Keith Van Horn, and that is number 5 on Van Horn. Still plenty of time left to play. When we come back, Mutombo will be at the free throw line. 8:56 left. Mavericks' biggest lead, 8 points. 8:56 left to play in the fourth quarter. Mutombo will be at the free throw line. Matt?
Well, Bill, this is a game of adjustments. Now, in the playoffs, you've got to make adjustments in between games. You've got to make adjustments during the game. What the Dallas Mavericks did to start off the second half was they started to go inside because the Rockets were doubling the basketball and they were rotating a little slow. Now, go ahead and run these highlights. You'll see the first couple plays, the Rockets are a little slow rotating, and they're giving up easy inside baskets. So the Rockets have to make an adjustment. They've got to start defending inside, and that opens up the outside shot. When you've got to pay attention to the inside players, the outside players get open looks, and the Dallas Mavericks are definitely knocking down the three-point shot.
Well, further point up what you're talking about, Dallas has out-rebounded Houston by 12, 6 more offensive rebounds, and they're leading 25-7 in second chance points, and the Mavericks are 10 of 14 behind the three-point line.
Well, remember game number 1, the Rockets gave up 42 free throws, and we were looking at each other like, how did the Rockets win by 12 points?
Yeah.
Now here in game 2, all those things you just mentioned, and the Rockets are still in this game. 9 minutes left in the fourth. The Rockets, you see the three-point shooting there for the Mavericks. The Rockets need to get hot. The one guy you want to look at is Tracy McGrady. He can take over the game at the end of the game, put the team on his shoulders to win basketball games.
You know, Matt, Nowitzki, I think, has recognized he's 4 for 15 tonight, and he still may take a critical shot in this game, but he's realized he's not hitting. So he's trying to get all of his other teammates involved, and he's trusting his teammates, and they've come up for him tonight.
Yeah, his teammates have played very big, but Dirk only has 2 rebounds and only 2 assists. So he's not really shooting the ball well, and he's not doing the other things on the court that he can do.
Mutombo gets them both. First 2 points for Deke. 8:53 left to play in the game. 6-point Dallas lead. Harris in there at the point guard position. Nowitzki will shoot it over Bowen. He misses again. 4 for 16.
Can't see a thing, Bill. I'm behind Yao.
Yeah, he'll block out the sun. Mike James off the glass for 2.
Oh, I can see that. How about that finger roll from Mike James?
And it's a 4-point game again. Rockets were down by 8. They've gone on a 4-0 run. Harris looking inside. Stackhouse working on McGrady. Stackhouse with a fadeaway. McGrady got a block. John Barry back the other way. Finley all over him. JB for 3.
Big shot.
4 3-pointers for John Barry. And Dallas has to call a timeout. A 7-0 run by Houston. And we've got a 1-point game again. Just when it looked like Dallas might put it away, those Rockets with that junkyard dog mentality. They just won't go away. Well, Napoleon Dynamite looking on.
Bill, I caught you a delicious pass.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you have no idea what that came from, do you?
No.
Napoleon Dynamite, the movie.
Oh, well, thank you very much. That was really some useless information again. 1-point game. I want to remind you, the only way to guarantee a seat to this year's playoffs is to put a deposit down for next year's season tickets. Call or visit Rockets.com and get in on the fun. Tonight's Gatorade Endurance player Tracy McGrady has played almost all the way now for 39 minutes. And he has 24 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals.
That's a serious basketball game right there.
Well, Matt, the Rockets won't go away. You know, I think Dallas was feeling pretty good about themselves a few moments ago.
Well, Houston has been on a 9-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And we mentioned that the Rockets were not out of this game despite the incredible performance by some of these Dallas players. And this Rockets team throughout the entire year has found ways to win basketball games. And when you're this close in a second game like this with 7 minutes and 46 seconds left, you might as well go ahead and win it. You put in all the effort. You might as well go ahead and take advantage of it.
When you look into the eyes of McGrady and Mutombo, the rest of the Rockets. You just really see John Barry.
Confidence.
And they feel like some of them, this could be their last hurrah. So you're going to let it all hang out. All right. Big stop. Mike James in the game right up on Jason Terry.
I see confidence without arrogance when I look in their eyes, and I think that's very important.
10 seconds. Crowd wants Nowitzki to shoot. He will. And he'll miss again. And the rebound to Houston.
Well, the crowd wants him to shoot, so do the Rockets.
4 of 17 now for Nowitzki. McGrady gets around everybody. Back to Bowen. Bowen misses.
Well, he didn't take his time. He rushed that shot.
Terry back the other way. Nowitzki will shoot again, and this time he's got it.
Dirk caught that ball and shot it more in rhythm. The shots before, he has kind of hesitated a little bit.
7 minutes left. T-Mac. And a whistle. And a foul on Josh Howard. That's the 4th on Howard and the 4th team foul on the Mavs. So the Rockets still have a foul to give as Yao Ming checks into the game. So if the Rockets remain aggressive, they should get to the free throw line. Mutombo will come out.
Yao had 23 at halftime, isn't that right? And he only has 29, so that's 6 points here in the second half. Let's look for Yao to get the ball inside to finish this game off.
McGrady. Brady back over to Barry. Barry, another three, in and out, won't go, and Howard with a rebound. That one came down for just a moment. Went down in the basket and came out. Inside. And a whistle. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Ryan Bowen.
I shake my head when I see Ryan Bowen out there playing, man. That guy just gives it all to you. Takes some contact, still gets the ball. Out of breath and all, man. That's some great basketball right there.
16 seconds left on the shot clock. Finley will bring it in. Michael Finley. Finley to Dampier, gets it right back. Finley gets a double team. Back to Terry. Swinging around to Nowitzki. And it's a long two-pointer for Dirk. So he's hit back-to-back shots for the first time in a long time. 195, a 5-point lead by the Mavs. Under 6 minutes left to play. McGrady. And an offensive foul on Yao Ming.
I like the play that the Rockets were running. They were setting picks all over the court for Tracy McGrady to get open. Referees just thought that Yao moved too much on that final pick. Kind of a tough time to make that call.
It is, but what a tough game to officiate. Nowitzki back out to Dampier. And he bowls over Barry for the slam. That's a little adjustment Dallas has made in the second half. They've gotten Eric Dampier back into the game. Nowitzki's not shooting, but Dampier's taking up the slack. And Houston calls a timeout. Well, when the Rockets won game 1 of this series, Avery Johnson got a little bit of criticism for tightening his rotation so much that he didn't get some of his key players into the game. Tonight, he's played more players, and he's gotten a few more results. 6 players in double figures for Dallas.
Yeah, he's played 11 of his 12 guys on his roster. Like you said, 6 Dallas Mavericks in double figures. Really a great all-around game for these Dallas Mavericks, shooting 51%, shooting 71% from the three-point line, 73% from the free throw line. With all those great numbers, the Rockets are still in this game, only down 7 with 5.5 minutes left.
Tracy McGrady will bring it in. Bowen will be in with Yao, Barry, and Mike James. Dampier will stay in the game. What a quarter he's having, or a second half. got James bringing it up. Nowitzki's coming over to help double team. Mike dribbles out of it. McGrady. He's being chased. Now the double team goes away. Bowen sets a pick. Nowitzki picks him up. McGrady. Yes.
Bill,
26 points.
That is sick, the way he makes that jump shot.
He's incredible.
He's dribbling to his right. He jumps and then twists in mid-air and makes the shot. I can't believe that guy hits those kind of shots.
Under 5 minutes, inside to Dampier, and a foul by Berry. And that's a smart foul. Dampier only a 60% free throw shooter.
Well, and he's 6 for 7 from the field, 13 points. Probably 5 of those 6 shots are dunks, so a good hard playoff foul from John Berry to put Dampier on the line.
All right, Bowen will come out of the game. Searle will come back in for Houston as Dampier will have 2. Now, the big change they've made is get Dampier involved in the offense, isn't it?
They've been able to get him some good shots, some good looks inside. And then when the Rockets have to start covering him inside, that opens up the outside shooting for the Mavericks.
He had only 3 points at halftime. Now he's got 14. Got 1 out of 2. Yao Ming with the rebound, his 8th of the game. Berry on the drive to the basket, lays it up and in. John Berry with his biggest offensive game. 16 points for JB. Inside to Howard, missed the layup.
Oh, you got to rebound it.
And a steal by Mike James. He's got to beat Jason Terry. Turns him around, lays it up and in. Big steal by Mike James.
That's Mike James, Bill.
The mini Vinny.
The mini microwave.
4:15 left. Rockets won't give up, down by only 2 now. Double team on Nowitzki. Nowitzki drives it in, and a foul whistle on Houston.
Well, Nowitzki's a big 7-footer. Let's watch this steal here first by Mike James. In the right place at the right time, and a nice crossover there, and strong finish. Those are the type of plays you got to have to finish basketball games. But getting back to Dirk Nowitzki, he's a big 7-footer. He's kind of gangly. Looks like whenever he drives into the basket, he just sort of throws his arms around, and the officials kind of fall for that and think it's a foul. Look at him. He's got his knees all funny looking down there on his free throws.
Yeah, but he's a good free throw shooter. They're number 4 in the NBA in the regular season free throw shooting, so they know how to get it done from the line. Nowitzki averaged 87 points from the free throw, 87%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. What did you average?
I was about 77. But it was difficult, when I didn't shoot very many.
4-point lead now by the Mavs.
You like the whiskey, you get 12 every night.
Bobby Searle with a huge 3. The Rockets won't go away. 8th three-pointer of the game for Houston, 105-104.
Every time the Rockets need a big shot, somebody steps up and knocks it down.
Terry, chased by Mike James. Terry with a hook shot over Yao. Dampier had the rebound. It goes through his legs, and there's a jump ball before the timeout. Dampier was trying to call a timeout, but his headband came over his eyes.
That's one of those loose ball situations that in a game of this magnitude, a game is this close, you've got to get your hands on that ball. A lot of scrapping and clawing and knocking headbands over eyes and everything going on down there.
Well, Dallas should get this jump. Dallas should get this jump. Dampier going against Bob Searle unless Bob steps on his foot.
Well, you never know. Obviously, Dampier's going to get to the ball first, but if you're quick on the around the circle there, you can sometimes steal a tip.
And the tip, Howard to Terry, and they'll use the 24. Jason will step back out to Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki gets the double team. Back to Jason Terry. Steps behind the three-point line and misses. Oh, he's their best shooter. Now the Rockets with a chance to take the lead on this possession. McGrady with a basketball. Looking inside. Josh Howard dogging him. McGrady back outside to Barry. Barry down to Yao Ming. Hooks it up and in, and the Rockets have taken the lead by a point. Rockets on an 11-3 run.
John Barry with a great play. The play had broken down, and John Barry getting a great shot for his big man, Yao Ming.
Nowitzki to the middle over Yao with a big shot.
Couple of heavyweights trading punches here, Bill.
And Dallas takes a 1-point lead again. McGrady and Howard. 2:22 and counting left to play in the game. McGrady. Sura's open for another three. Bobby Sura! Oh, yeah! Big time! Cold-blooded shot by Bob Sura. The 9th three-pointer of the game for Houston. This crowd can't believe it. Dallas has called a timeout. And the Rockets have taken a 109-107 lead with 2:12 left to play. Well, they say some games are games for the ages. This could be one of those, Matt Bullard. 109-107. About 6 minutes ago, the Rockets were left for dead as the Mavericks were up by 8 points, but the Rockets have gone on a 14-5 run. Here's a big basket by Nowitzki to give Dallas a 1-point lead. But the Rockets answer right back with Bob Sura. Back-to-back threes for Bobby. Houston has hit its last 6 field goals, and Sura says, give me a 3.
Rolling the dice out there, Bill, and coming up big.
This is a determined bunch. Look at that huddle. Tracy McGrady leading the way. Jeff Van Gundy right in the middle. Mike James has been a little mini-Vinny for Houston. He's come off that bench with Barry. What a job that bench has done all season long. 30 points for the Rockets bench tonight.
We mentioned that benches are a big key to these teams. Rockets bench coming up big tonight. First game, the Rockets win with 98 points. Game number 2, both teams well over 100. How many different ways can the Rockets win basketball games?
Van Horn out on the perimeter. 2-point Houston lead now. Under 2 minutes left to play in the game. Terry takes it around the corner, picked up, and he hits. And we are tied at 109. 152 and counting.
Big shot after big shot.
McGrady to the basket, and he misses. Terry in the open court. Dallas with the numbers. Terry will back it out. Looking down to Nowitzki is Michael Finley giving it up to Dirk. Barry's right on him. Van Horn. They're playing with it on the perimeter now. Van Horn. This is back out. A turnover. Mike James. He's got to beat Jason Terry, and Terry knocks it out of bounds.
Van Horn didn't want to shoot it, Bill. Dirk Nowitzki had John Barry on him. He passed it to Van Horn. Van Horn wouldn't shoot it.
And the Mavericks players are showing a little angst as they're really getting on each other now. Mike James had it knocked away by Terry. That was a big defensive stop by Jason Terry.
Yeah, Mike James going in for the layup, but the Dallas Mavericks, you see some cracks in their armor there. Dirk Nowitzki had John Barry in a mismatch, didn't take it, passed it to Van Horn. Van Horn didn't want to shoot it. It's a big game, man. You got to take some big shots.
Well, you're right, Matt. Now, if as we look up at the scoreboard, we see that both teams are in the penalty. And the Mavs have one full timeout plus a 20, so do the Rockets. So now, if you're Dallas, you're talking defense. If you're Houston, you're talking offense. And Jeff Van Gundy's one of the best at getting the shot he wants. And what will it be?
Well, you've got the best player for big-time situations in Tracy McGrady, and you've got a great big man inside with Yao Ming, someone to play off of. I would imagine that Tracy and Yao will set a high pick and roll, and then they'll play out of that, just depending on how Dallas plays them on defense. What Dallas has been doing all game is double-teaming Tracy, trying to get the ball out of his hands. Let's see if Yao can get a little roll down to the basket. for an easy shot inside.
Folks, Game 3 will be back in Houston Thursday night at 8:30 in the Toyota Center. The only way to guarantee a seat to that game is to put a deposit down for next year's season tickets. You can call or visit Rockets.com. Game 4 will be Saturday afternoon at the Toyota Center. And both of those games, if you can't make it out, will be on FSN Houston. All tied up at 109.
This is what playoff basketball is all about. Two great basketball teams tied up with a minute left.
Barry, James, Sura, McGrady, and Yao Ming. Don Nelson has seen a lot in his 27 NBA seasons as a head coach. 11 others as a player for the Boston Celtics. He's Van Horn for 7 years. All right, what's going to happen?
Keith Van Horn on Yao Ming. Yao's going to have the advantage inside over that particular matchup.
Can't afford a turnover here. You got to get a good shot. John Barry back out to McGrady. McGrady takes it to the basket. Oh, Yao Ming slams it home. 33 points for Yao. McGrady with the assist. And the Rockets lead it by 2 with a minute left to play.
Now you got to play some tough D. You don't want to foul the jump shooter.
That's 10 assists for Tracy McGrady. Back to Jason Terry. Tough jumper won't go, and Sura goes up high for the rebound, and Barry steals the ball. It was laying out there on the floor, and Barry went and got it.
Critical loose ball.
We're down to critical possessions now. McGrady. Outside on the perimeter, down to 9 seconds on the shot clock. T-Mac will rise up, and it's short. 27 seconds left to play, and Dallas will call its final full timeout. The Mavericks still have a 20. Stay with us. When we come back, Dallas will try to tie this game up. Yao Ming with 33 points. .11, 109, Houston. 26 seconds left. Not very many players 25 years old have had a book and a movie already in their careers, but that's what Yao Ming has done, and that's one of the reasons. McGrady with his 10th assist, Yao with points 32 and 33. Is this the year of the Yao?
The year of the Yao. Yao with the go-ahead bucket. The Rockets must play some defense now, up 2 with 26 seconds left. The thing you want to do on defense is you want to keep your man in front of you. Sometimes coaches will want you to switch all the pick and rolls in this situation. But the only thing you don't want to do is foul. You do not want to foul a jump shooter. You don't want to give Dallas a chance to score from the free throw line with the clock stopped.
Now, will Dallas take it down, or will they have to take an early shot? There's 4 seconds difference, shot clock, game clock. If you shoot it early, you got a chance for a second chance with an offensive rebound.
Dallas was not going to be able to move that ball into the front court because they passed it before they called timeout. So they're going to have to bring the ball up. Mike James is going to be up there pressuring, trying to take a bunch of time off the clock. I would imagine that Dallas would take the first good shot that they see. They don't want to run it down and try to play for the last shot and then get a bad shot.
And don't foul Jason Terry because you're in the penalty. 22 seconds. Here we go. Nowitzki. T-Mac's on him. Nowitzki turning inside, back outside over Tracy McGrady, and he ties the game at 111. 10 seconds left to play. Rockets can call a timeout. They're not going to take it. They're going to go on. McGrady, 6 seconds. Down to 5. Down to 4. McGrady for the win. Yes! Tracy McGrady, outstanding, outrageous, simply incredible. Tracy McGrady with the basket to give the Rockets a 2-point lead with 2 seconds left to play. Oh, what a player.
I love that the Rockets did not call timeout. When you've got a player like Tracy McGrady, let him play basketball. Jeff Van Gundy let Tracy McGrady put the ball in his hands, let him go down, play one-on-one, did not let Dallas set up their defense. When you've got a fantastic player like Tracy McGrady, let him play basketball. He comes up big for the Rockets.
Sometimes, as he has done all season long, he imposes his will on a game, and he has done that here tonight. The Rockets were down by 8 points in the fourth quarter, and since then have gone on a 23-15 run. All right, here we go now. The Rockets, Dallas has 2.2 seconds left. Do you foul here, Matt? No, I thought it was 3. It's 2 points, right? 113, 111.
Yep, 2 point.
So you can't foul here.
Yeah, you don't want to foul. But I would think that the Dallas Mavericks, now the Rockets just called a 20-second timeout. I would think that the Dallas Mavericks would try to go for the tie. They're at home. They've got the crowd behind them. They don't need to go for a three-point shot to win this basketball game. However, they have shot the three very well tonight. They are 10 for 15 from the three-point line.
Tonight's Landry Signature Group player of the game, Tracy McGrady.
No kidding.
28 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. He'll receive a $50 gift card from the Landry Signature Group of restaurants. Now, the Rockets still have 1 full timeout remaining, and that's it. The Mavs do not have any. They'll bring it in. So it's important for the Mavs to be sure to get it in 5 seconds. Ryan Bowen's in that game. Now along with David Wesley. Howard will bring it in. 2.2 left. Looking to Nowitzki. They go instead to Finley. Finley takes it inside, shoots up the 2 and misses. And the Houston Rockets have come into Dallas and stolen the first 2 games of the series. What an unbelievable, improbable, impossible task by Houston, and they have pulled it off. The Rockets trailing by 8 points in the fourth quarter. They haven't been this shocked in Dallas since JR was shot.
Oh, man. Tracy McGrady with the game-winning shot. Wow, what a basketball player.
The Rockets win it 113-111. Stay tuned, Jeff Hagedorn. Me and Bull will be right back with the Rockets post-game report.